Hello, everyone. We are the Biosystems Senior Engineering Design Group for the class of 2021. We are here to discuss today our project concerning dog park runoff containment. I am Carson Clauser.
I'm Katie Emmett.
And I'm Jared Wolf, and our faculty mentor is Dr. Bill Ford, who has been extremely helpful in answering all of the questions that we have had over this semester.
So the problem our project is looking at is that as land use continues to shift from natural to developed environments, and with an increased understanding of point source pollution, it is now critical for us to focus on controlling non-point source pollution to preserve the quality of our natural water resources. There are concerns about pollution loading into streams from dog park runoff and urban landscapes. Our team proposes to design a system that prevents pet waste from the Coldstream Dog Park in Lexington from entering a nearby tributary of Cane Run Creek. In Figure 1, you can see an aerial view of Coldstream Dog Park with the blue line representing Cane Run and a reflection pool that's in the park. So some general background on the issue is that dog waste contains pollutants, including pathogens, nitrogen, and phosphorus mainly, and these impact the quality of water for drinking, recreation, and supporting aquatic habitat. One pollutant present in dog waste is fecal coliform, which is a group of coliform bacteria, primarily E. coli, that originate from feces. The impact this has on water quality is that it's a zoonotic pathogen, meaning that it causes illness in humans and can also cause illnesses in other animals as well. The Kentucky Clean Water Act has two regulations, one for fecal coliform allowable levels and one for E. coli allowable levels in surface water bodies. The other primary pollutant is nutrients, including nitrogen and phosphorus. These cause eutrophication, which is when increased nutrients enter a water body, causing excess algal blooms and decreasing oxygen available for aquatic organisms. The Kentucky Clean Water Act, Section 1, addresses this issue by setting a qualitative statement for the amount of nutrients allowed in a water body, as they should not exceed amounts that cause visible signs of eutrophication, but there is no quantitative amount of nutrients currently in our regulations for how much there should be.
As our problem statement said, our objective is to reduce the concentration of pollutants in the runoff from the dog park that enters the Cane Run tributary, with our main concern being reducing the concentration of fecal coliform in the runoff. The constraints that limit the type of system to be used are keeping the system outside of the fence line, working around existing utilities such as the sewage and electricity lines, minimizing the cost and maintenance for Parks and Recreation Department, and ensuring the minimal impact of the aesthetic of the park. With all these constraints in mind, we created a chart to compare the systems that we were considering. Since the project will be done by grant funding, we wanted to use the money as efficiently as possible. The size takes into account distance from the fence line and from the tributary. Maintenance takes into account how long maintenance takes, how many people will be required, and how often it has to be done. Effectiveness is about how much fecal coliform is removed from the runoff, and aesthetic is important so that the system isn't affecting how people see and smell the dog park. After ranking the systems against each other via these categories, Wheatburn had the lowest score, so is the system that we have decided to design.
Figure 2 shows a conceptual design of a contour wheat berm. They typically work by capturing sediment-laden runoff from the gradient and affected area, which is then contained within the berm. As the water settles, it slowly infiltrates the soil and releases through small pipes installed into the wheat berm. This effectively controls both the discharge of the water while also decreasing any contaminants as it infiltrates the soil. Typical design for a wheat berm is meant to contain runoff volume for up to a 5-year, 24-hour storm event. This is dependent on the area in question, as well as the height of the invert of outlet pipes being set by a 1-year, 6-hour storm event. Figure 3 shows a contour map of potential preferential flow paths of the water, with the red line indicating where we would place the wheat berms. The black line indicates the fence line of the park, and the blue line just in front of the fence indicates additional drainage that we would use to support the wheat berm and address sheet flow that cannot be captured by the wheat berm. After looking at precipitation data from NOAA and gathering our own surveying data of the park itself, we were able to determine the height of the right side of the park to be a total of 11 inches, with the invert outlet pipes being 3 inches from the ground. This is with a slope of the berm of 2 to 1. This gives them the maximum height, as it is not recommended that wheat berms have a greater slope than this. The left wheat berm was found to need a height of 22 inches in order to contain a 5-year, 24-hour storm event, with the outlet pipes being just 5 inches off the ground. Some of our spring semester plans and goals have us surveying the remainder of the dog park in order to better understand the gradient. Additionally, we would include the support to make the wheat berm more effective, as indicated by the blue line, more than likely being a drainage system to address all the sheet runoff from the park. We also want to finalize the costs of the city so they can understand how to best implement this and potentially implement it at other parks, as well as finalize our drawing designs, a cut and fill diagram, and CAD drawings with a vegetation map to give as accurate of a depiction of what would be anticipated as we can. We also want to give some special thanks to Lexington Parks and Recreation's Superintendent of Planning and Design, Michelle, for supporting us along the way, as well as our faculty mentor, Dr. Bill Ford, Dr. Tiffany Messer, and Dr. Carmen for their time and consideration in helping us develop our design. We look forward to speaking with you all soon and are excited to show our final products in the spring. Thank you for listening.
You're muted, Katie.